Hi there. I've just been out today doing one of my favourite things, and that is fossicking around old bookshops. I actually found a new bookshop today that I'd not been to before. It was amazing. So what I thought I'd do today is come in and show you some of my finds. So first of all, these couple of books here. These were in a box outside the shop being sold for $2, so bit of a find, because this one, which is all about trees, has some lovely illustrations, and I can quite happily cut these out and use these in my altered book journals that I make. So that was pretty awesome. In fact, I have had a book exactly like this before that I've used, so it was good to find that one. This one is just a lovely book that I'm just interested in, and I thought $2, I'm going to buy it. It's talking about the language of flowers and how they all have meanings, and it's quite interestingly illustrated as well. So what I'll do with this one is I will probably read it, and yeah, I'll just keep it as a sort of reference book, because I just love all the history and folklore about flowers and other plants and trees and things, so I'll keep that one. So these next two were inside the shop, but they're a bit of a bargain because they were $5 each, and they're beautiful. They're about trees. So personally, I love trees, and I'm thinking of writing my own book about trees. So this will be good inspiration and reference material for the text. So that's lovely. And this one was a history of Britain's trees, and so that was quite, it's got some nice illustrations as well in this one. So again, I will keep this. This will go in my ever-growing library about trees. Now, I'll put these to one side. Also inside the shop, I had some brilliant finds. So this one, Hans Andersen's Fairy Tales, and it's a lovely edition. It's got a date in it of 1948, but just look at these illustrations. They're really lovely. I'll find some more. Oh, that's really lovely. This is, yes, this is the red shoes. Incessantly she had to dance. Isn't that a lovely illustration? So, what else? The Ugly Duckling. So, I'm thinking to scan these, and I can put a compilation together of these scans. And what I will do is I'll put them in my Etsy shop as a collection. But what I'll also do is I will give them as a reward to my Patreon followers. So that's what I'm doing now. Patreon followers get the rewards, you see. And if you're interested, I would love you to follow me on Patreon. They get first look at all my videos anyway, and they get exclusive content as well, which I'll never put on YouTube. Well, I'm just saying, a little bit of a sales pitch there. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is probably I'm going to scan, and then I don't know whether I should make this into an altered book journal, which I probably could do actually, because they're sewn in. lots of ideas for this one. It's a nice handy size for a journal, isn't it? So we'll see. This one I quite liked because of this kind of patterning on it, and the paper is actually very nice paper for actually working on as an altered book. So this one will probably be pruned. I'll take some of the pages out and then I'll use it to work straight on as an altered book. Let's see, it's got some interesting pictures, but the pictures are a bit dark. I don't think I'll scan any of these. I'll just use this as the basis of an altered book, I think. And I do love this. That's lovely, isn't it? So I could gesso all of that out and I could make it my own. I could scan that actually, because that's lovely, isn't it, as a frame. So I probably will scan that. That one. Now, this one was a real find. Look at this. So this one was quite a find. It's got some really, really lovely illustrations in it. It's from 1927, Puck Annual. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful, this plate. It's very battered, and so when I find these books I don't mind too much that I'm going to take them apart, because they are really at the end of their life, and if you were a collector of this type of book, I don't think you'd be very interested in collecting it, because the quality is not there. And I know that there are editions out there that are much better quality. So anyway, I get a lot of enjoyment out of them because I love all these illustrations. So I've put some markers in here for some of these really beautiful illustrations. Let's see, this one. They're funny. Oh, that's so lovely, this one. I almost think that I could use this on my website, because all of these are out of copyright. This one, Phyllis Cooper, she's a beautiful artist, and I'm thinking I might make a collection of all her drawings that I find. And again, what I'm thinking of doing is putting them all together on a digital download so that you guys can use them as well. But that's for my Patreon followers. Otherwise you can buy them from my Etsy shop. That's how I'm going to do it. So, and this is good as well. It's got projects in there, how to make a stenciling set. So that's cool. And I'm thinking that I might take some of these projects and do them, and then I could make a video of how to do it, and so you could sort of do it as well. That's an idea. These are lovely, and somebody's had a go at colouring these in. She or he did very, very well on this one. I wonder who this book belonged to. Have you got any clues? No. We don't know who owned this. There's another one from Phyllis Cooper. You can just see her style in these illustrations. This one is GC, different illustrator but beautiful all the same. Look, another one, the Gypsy. There's a little poem there. And fairies, they're always fun to have. What's this one? Colouring in. And somebody's written in pencil, do this. So obviously someone was planning on, but never got round to it. So That's just a lovely plate. And you can pick up these books quite cheaply, mainly because they're falling apart. Nobody wants them, but you know, there's value in them and beauty that I want to preserve. So that's another reason why I want to scan these pictures. And it's got recipes as well, so that's going to be fun. Colour plates to colour in, and that's just beautiful. And it's also serves as an inspiration for art, so I might look at that and think, oh, how lovely the sort of the proportions and everything, and the idea of it all, the flouncing on that skirt, and I might try and draw it myself, but in my own way, of course. So that's another use for these drawings. Well, that's recipes, so that was lovely, that one. And again, I got another one. I haven't marked this one up, but look, these are beautiful, and that is just lovely. What else we got? It's fab. Sometimes, you know, unfortunately, pages will get damaged in these books, but considering what you pay for these books, and they are scribbled on, and this is again why collectors don't want them, but for people like us, we can find endless uses for these. You know, you could make a card out of that. You could scan that and make a birthday card for a young girl. Well, that would make a great birthday card, wouldn't it? Especially if you knew someone that had this kind of dog as a pet. So that's that one. And I also picked up these old magazines, but these were $2, these things, and I love that picture of this tiger, so I'm going to scan it and then I can use it, you know. Oh, it's got old retro kind of stories in there. This one, story by Edgar Allan Poe, The Gold Bug. And I think it's also got The Telltale Heart in here, which is a classic. But you could use this in decoupage on tables to give that retro look on furniture and things. There's all sorts of uses for that. They're just fun and beautiful colour. This one I've had for a while. Again, I picked it up in a second-hand bookshop, maybe the Book Barn for this one, I think. But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking these have got lots of projects in them. So I'm thinking I might be able to find projects in here. Obviously, that's a bit too big. I'm not going to make my own garden swing. Well, I suppose I could if I wanted. But there's other things in here that might be interesting. Weaving. Tells you all about weaving. Useful gifts from gummed paper. That's curious, isn't it? So I might look at some of these and see if I can make videos, a bit like with the other book. And then if not, I think this cover in itself, though a bit battered, makes a lovely cover. I think what I would do is I'd preserve it. I might give it a coat of Mod Podge or some kind of protective coating, and then reuse this as a cover. So, have a cup of tea now. That was my finds for today. I was really delighted with all of that, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing them with me. And yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you think, and any suggestions for how I could use some of these illustrations and things that I find in these old books. What do you do? Where do you find your books? Have you got some good charity shops that stock them? I'm finding actually that a lot of charity shops, they won't take books anymore, and also the ones that they do have are very they're getting a bit expensive. Not in as much as if you wanted to buy the book to read. No, they're still very good value, but if you're wanting to do to them what I do to them, like pull them apart and things, you don't really want to spend too much money on them. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, and thanks for watching, and do come back soon. Like, follow and subscribe, and hopefully follow me on Patreon. That's where all the best content is going to be, so hopefully I'll see you there.